Hey you guys, this is gonna be another reading from me, and this one is on how to integrate your shadow. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of an interesting read. If anything spicy pops up, it pops up, and by spicy I mean, I don't know, too hot to handle, stuff like that. Not in a sexual way, but just, you know, it's your shadow. So yeah, or that's what I'm planning to have the reading on anyway. So let's see what comes up. But the deck I'm using for you to pick your cards from is the Shadowland Lenormand deck. And I'm going to read the first card from the booklet because it's just too good not to. And it has some good insight, to be fair. But yeah, I've had it for a while, and the doodles are seriously so cute, and I love them, and I love this deck, and blah blah blah. And anyways, how to integrate your shadow. Pile 1. A card for pile 1, please, on how they should integrate their shadow. There we go. That's 1. Pile 2. And then pile 3. Dun dun dun. Ugh, okie dokie. Pile 1. Bear 15, so again, super cute. Pile 2, child. Oh god, that might be interesting. To be fair, they will all be interesting, but interesting. Okay. And then, sorry, I don't know why I'm being a perfectionist today. And then pile 3, we have the book. Or just book. But yes, please pick your pile, and then we can begin. Let me just get these straight. There we go. Again, how to integrate your shadow. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. I am gonna start with pile 1, the bear. Okie dokie. I probably should have had a disclaimer. Your shadow isn't a bad thing. It's part of your ego, or your ego is part of your shadow. It's necessary. Stop trying to, you know, what's the word? Outrun it or stuff it down. Absolutely zero need, because sometimes your power is in your shadow, and if you're constantly trying to dim yourself down or hide your shadow, then it's gonna come out wrong. Basically, you're not gonna feel whole, and I can't explain it because I lost the language or the words. Why am I even interesting? Okay. Alright, for some of you, for this pile specifically, having a bear, there's a tiny child on top of the bear over there. So feeling safe is incredibly important for you. You may have had some kind of abandonment issues, or just, you know, the fear of abandonment itself. So having a big, cushy, something to ground you is incredibly important to you, basically. So people, a home, potentially, just your physical environment needs to feel safe for you to feel safe, basically, and for your shadow to feel safe enough to express itself without being overpowering. For others of you, this could also mean that your shadow is massive. You have a lot of power in your shadow, and you actually need to look beyond the surface, because the iceberg, the top of the iceberg, the little child, that's just the beginning. That's just only the one small part that you're showing, and all of that power here is dormant, asleep, resting until it's ready to roar out, kind of thing. But let's see what the booklet has to say. So card 15. Here we go. Bear. A tiny figure stands on top of a sleeping bear surrounded by human bones. Keywords: strong-willed, powerful, mother or mother-in-law figure, finances, protective, shadow, troubles, strife, investment issues, threat, domineering behavior. Message: the bear can represent a mature person, often a mother figure who is strong and protective, or someone who can be overbearing and offer unsolicited advice. This card may also refer to a mentor or any mature person offering direction and advice. Sometimes when this card appears with other cards, such as the mountain card, it may refer to an impasse or a person who is blocking your passage. For some, expressing power is dangerous and can leave them frozen in anxiety and unable to express fears or vulnerabilities. At other times, strength may turn into inflexibility and unwillingness to compromise. Use your power wisely. Reflection questions. So when you look at the drawing, do you identify with the figure standing on the bear or the bear? In which instance has your strength been an asset, a challenge, or unrecognized? Do you have strong female role models in your life? These are some powerful questions. So if you feel like actually answering them, please feel free to pull out a journal and, you know, do your thing. But yeah, do you feel like the figure standing on the bear, or do you feel like the bear? And also, again, with that, what is it called? For some, expressing power is dangerous and can leave them frozen in anxiety or unable to express fears or vulnerabilities. Yeah, sometimes your power is in your shadow, so you feel like you're scared of power because you've seen the consequences of other people feeling aggressive because of you expressing your power, or, you know, the power that you hold. So in that case, you put your power in your shadow because that's something that people aren't used to, you're not used to feeling or expressing, and therefore you must hide it. But the thing is, when you hide stuff, as with anything, they are bound to pop up, they are bound to be found again, they are bound to be seen, and they are bound to explode if they're constantly stuffed down. So there's no need to stuff down your own personal power because it's useful. But again, obviously everything has its what is it called, it's up and it's down, it's pro and it's con. So again, strength can be an asset or a challenge. And then the third thing, which is absolutely fucking wild in this one, is where has it been unrecognized, so not being seen, heard, or valued, basically. Damn, that's so it's powerful, right? First cards we have are from the, oh god, Thoth Tarot, and we have the Knight of Discs, which is in reverse because my cards slipped in reverse and I think I just collected them again. But okay, Knight of Discs, so Knight of Pentacles, and also the Ruin, Swords, so 10 of Swords, and they add their own little what's it called, words over there. What is this? Okay, yeah, Knight of Discs or Knight of Swords, and then we have 10 of Swords, Ruin. Yeah, again, your power, even if you feel like, okay, no, some of you are stuffing down your power because you feel like other people will react interestingly or weirdly and not take you seriously, or they'll take you too seriously. So you may dim yourself down to appear younger than your actual age, or more childlike, I guess, but also younger than in spirit in terms of your knowledge. Some of you basically play dumb so that other people don't disrespect you or try anything, basically, because when you put yourself down on your own already, or I mean, you know how it goes, basically. When you do it yourself, no one else can fight you on it, basically. No one can trigger you into feeling small. But the thing is, when you make yourself small, I feel like that says stuff to the universe itself, that what you're allowing into your life is also small. And again, this reading is meant to be harsh. So, well, not really harsh, but I'm trying to deliver the messages in the kindest manner. But it's gonna be a bit of a tough reading, so I will mind my language, basically. But, or try to at the very least. But yeah, feeling like you're not on top of the world, having desire to go where you want to go, but things going very slowly. So integrating your shadow here will be a process. It might be a painful one as well with the 10 of Swords here, because seeing yourself clearly is important, but how you go about seeing yourself can trigger a lot of wounds, basically. I mean, again, that's expected, but yikes. Okay, why did I do this reading? Divine Moon Tarot, we have the Two of Swords, answer not given, and the Knight of Pentacles again. Okay, integrating your shadow is going to be a slow process, but again, look at the black and white figures there. It's meant to be, it's meant to happen. It's a win-win situation either way. You just have to work out how to do it, basically. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. I feel like being carried may be important here. So having something, well, again, having something to lean on is incredibly important to you. So having people in your life that actually really care for you and that allow you a safe space to be able to express yourself wholly without having to hide any parts of you is incredibly important to you. And it would be incredibly beneficial to the protection and also expression of your shadow. So yeah, this again could take time if you feel like you have no safe space for your shadow to bloom in, because it has to bloom, to be honest. But that, it does take time, and especially when it comes to like friends, family, things like that, circumstances like that as well. So yeah, having a safe environment, that's key. So building that safe environment will be incredibly key for you to be able to express your shadow healthily, because it will be expressed either way, but it doesn't have to hurt, because this is life, you know. The shadow self of someone always comes out to play. It never stays dormant. That's not how life is meant to work. But the thing is, when you pull it together yourself, or when you push it out yourself, when you're ready, obviously in your own time, you feel so much more empowered than when you're forced to react rather than act. Dun dun dun. Next cards we have are from the Alice in Wonderland normal tarot, normal playing cards, and we have the Nine of Clubs. I think that's clubs. Shit. Yes, it is clubs, because it's the Nine of Wands, and also the Six of Diamonds. So Six of Pentacles. Okie dokie. Delegating correctly. Feeling like you have to continuously stand up for yourself in every situation, having the energy to do it, but at the same time you're at the end of the road and you're just like, really? More? There's more for me to do? Gosh, I'm tired, kind of thing. But you're still doing it, you're still delegating accordingly. So your shadow, the healthy expression here that needs to happen is one that, yes, it's slow, but it's beneficial and it's fruitful, basically. And even in the Nine of Clubs, Alice is giving to the dodo bird. She's, you know, sharing. I don't even know what this is. I mean, they're about to hold hands, like, at the very least. So there we go. There's a sharing of experience. So again, it would be important for you to be with people who actually make you feel like your generosity, it doesn't go unnoticed. It doesn't, you know, it feels like it's appreciated. You are appreciated, and things are going in both of your favors, basically, because it has to be a win-win situation. Same with the Two of Swords. It needs to work in two people's favor, well, multiple parties' favor. So favors, rather. Next cards we have are from the Weird Cat Tarot, and again, Two of Swords. What the fuck is this? And Six of Cups. Okay, so sixes may be important here, because Six of Diamonds, Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles twice, and then the Two of Swords twice. There are decisions to be made here, like a lot of decisions, and you feel, for some of you, that it's better left unsaid. It's better left in the dark. Maybe you don't want to bother with doing this stuff, but there will be a lot of positivity if you actually face your shadow, basically. That's not to say that you need to face it immediately. It's just to say that in your own time, you gotta face yourself. Your fears, your deepest, darkest fears, need to be faced. So again, going back to the very beginning, if you have a fear of abandonment, for some of you, this is the year you're gonna start looking at it clearly, and how that's impacted your life, basically, and how you're gonna go about creating the reality you want with other people, because there's a lot of people cards in here. The two knights, but also just in general, the Two of Swords. It's constantly not knowing where to go, what decision to make, things like that. There's a lot on your mind, basically, and you don't know in which direction to go, but like, you have to choose a direction, because not making a choice is a choice in itself. And again, it's much better when you make choices rather than the choices are taken out of your hands and then something has to happen, basically. That in itself shows indecision, but also it shows a lack of trust in yourself. Sorry, it's gotta be said, but you gotta trust yourself, basically. You have to trust that your shadow actually has, you know, it's here to protect you. That's the point of the shadow. It's here to protect you. It's here to protect the people around you. It just has a bad rep, because people are just like, yeah, you gotta stuff it down, you gotta do this, you gotta do that to hide it. And in the end, that obviously just doesn't work in anyone's favor. Maybe it will for like 2 minutes, or I don't know, a year at most, but things just come out, and there's no need to hide them, basically. But I feel like there's been a lot of hiding in here, both of yourself, but also of your own power. Knight of Pentacles is someone who is very diligent in creating what they're creating. Whatever you've been doing, you've been working at it slowly, but like consistently too. The Knight of Pentacles is the only knight who actually does what they say they will, even though it's slow, basically. Some of you may feel like you will break some friendships, potentially, if you start working out your problems, your indecision making. If you actually start believing in yourself wholesomely, like to the best degree possible, you feel like you may break relationships with other people, or that you'll be a burden. I don't think so. That's a fear. That's, again, a fear of abandonment, making yourself small to be able to fit in with the larger crowd, basically, with people that quite frankly, well, if you're making yourself feel small, you're not around the right people, basically. Although for some of you, if you're making yourself feel small, and I slightly do relate to this, it's more that you're so used to being small, making yourself feel unseen, that when you have the opportunity to be seen, it feels weird, it feels unnatural. But you, at some point, you're gonna have to realize that you have to embrace your whole power, your whole self, like your whole true divinity, basically, and that you just being you is enough. Like, you can just be. You don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, you don't have to put yourself out there unnecessarily, but at the same time, you don't need to hide yourself. You can just sit in your power and be appreciated for it. And that takes skill, and it takes time, like, to be able to sit in blessings. If you're used to chaos, you won't be able to appreciate the beauty around you with the Six of Pentacles here. Sorry, Six of Cups here, because this is beauty. This is feeling like a soulmate with Six of Cups here. But it's also about integrating, well, yes, your shadow here. That is a reading after all. But it's about integrating your whole self into the with people, basically. I don't know why my language is like this right now, but it's about integrating you in a space that is safe for you to integrate yourself with. So with people that actually matter to you, but also are doing the work on themselves too, basically. With like-minded individuals. That's how I'm gonna leave it as. The last cards we have are from the Moon Power Tarot, and we have the Devil. Oop. The Five of Wands in reverse. And also the Lovers. Nice. Lovely stuff. Look at it. Just gorgeous. And also the Devil, because it's super pretty. But again, this is 2 major arcana in one, from one deck. So important stuff. Letting go of things that do not serve you. Mental conflicts around you, definitely. And actually working on partaking to the same degree securely with other people will be incredibly beneficial to you. I feel like some of you have been overdoing it with other people because, you know, lack of boundaries, doing everything to keep people who either want to go or just overgiving and overdoing, basically. But you will be letting go of that because you have realized, or you are realizing, some of you already have though a long time ago, and this is just a confirmation thing, that you can't give your all and then expect that in return from people who haven't met themselves in the same capacity that you have met yourself with, or in, rather. Like, you cannot expect as much as you're giving to people, because some of you actually do overgive, and if you are overgiving, you cannot expect someone else to also overgive to the same degree, because then you're going to have 2 depleted individuals, whereas currently you may have 1 depleted individual and who's feeling relatively resentful potentially. Apply this how it applies. This could be a relationship that's already gone, so you may have already, you know, gotten over the feeling of resentment for overgiving, but at the same time, it's like important to face that facet, to face that facet. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, but to face the part of you that has given so much that you've some of you may have given up on love for a bit anyway, or you feel like your blessings have been incredibly slow in arriving to you, and part of that is because you have to reach a certain thought level. I don't like the thoughts need to sink in, basically, that you are ready, that you are worthy, that you can give just enough without overgiving, that you can actually receive also just enough, because it is not just about giving or overgiving, it's also about being able to receive. And some of you haven't been able to receive because you're so focused on the other person, trying to keep the other person with you, and by that I mean any relationship, really, that you often forget, when you're in a position of I need this to stay in my life, you often forget that it can just stay, basically. You forget to breathe, you forget to look after yourself, you forget to be like, oh, actually, I should be wondering if I want this person to stay in my life, rather than, shit, I really need this person in my life, therefore I need to make sure that they are fed, clothed, mothered, appreciated, all of that jazz. But then if you're thinking about them and they're thinking about themselves and they're not giving enough, even if they are giving enough, but to you it won't feel like it's enough because you're overgiving, basically. Again, apply this how it applies. I don't want to give you information that's just like, you know, oh, I don't want to be the figure in this card, basically. Unsolicited advice, and you hating the what is it, the mother figure or whatever it was that they said about someone who's able to give advice and stuff. But again, you are your best advisor. So where has your power been seen, heard, valued? And in which case, has it not been, basically? But yeah, you integrating your power, your shadow, because it is your power, is important, but it's a slow process. So I feel like this is more of a reading to confirm that you are doing it, you are facing yourself, and you're doing it head on as well, basically. But just continue. That's all I gotta say, to be honest. If you're journaling, if you're doing things by the book, because the Knight of Pentacles does keep by the traditions, the rules. Again, knights are a bit iffy, but they will iffy in the sense that they're young. They can just go off and fuck about and gallivant if they wanted to, but for the most part, they are, you know, told what to do, and they will go through it. And this is the one knight that does go through absolutely everything by the book, checklist after checklist after, or checkpoint after checkpoint kind of thing. This knight will succeed in whatever they want to do, because or whatever they've been instructed to do, because they feel like they're obligated to do so. Like, their self-respect is on the line, basically. So you facing your power, you facing your shadow, you're gonna do it successfully. There's far too much to find of yourself not to. I was gonna say there's far too much to lose if you don't, but there's nothing to lose, basically. You have everything to gain from facing yourself clearly and properly. Literally everything. And you've been delegating accordingly as well. So that, what is it? The tower moments, the indecision, especially the indecision, actually, with the two of discs here, or pentacles, or no. Oh my god, swords. This is it, not discs. Jesus. But I was looking at the 10 of swords there, and they... Anyways, whatever. My language skills today are a bit iffy. Okay, necessary to look at yourself clearly and to drop the conflict with yourself, basically. I feel like you've already been doing that, and that's that. You're facing yourself clearly, and your shadow side is actually going to be thriving, basically. And I don't mean that in an egotistical alter ego kind of way. I mean that you are letting yourself see yourself clearly and thrive. And even if you have to do it with your eyes closed, you have to meditate, things like that, you will do it, because you do things by the book, and you'll continue to do it like that. Where's the other one? There we go. There's a lot for you to learn, and there's a lot for you to impart on other people, and I think you're going to let yourself actually do that as well. So for some of you, you are the ones who are teaching other people how to see you clearly. I mean, yes, obviously, but like at the same time, you are the ones who are teaching other people to see themselves clearly as well. So for some of you are the teachers as well, so you may feel like you don't have enough to say, or like you don't know enough on the topic or something, because it's a knight, it's not a king or a queen or the empress/emperor, but you have enough to be able to teach, basically, both yourself and others, and you've gone through enough to be able to actually discern where your power lies and where your power stands clearly in the light, basically. And it's actually a positive thing, not a negative thing. I feel like a lot of you have made, to be fair, a lot of you have made decisions which have served you, with the Lovers and the Two of Swords here, but you may feel like the decisions were unclear, or that they were made for you. For some, that is the case. I mean, there are decisions that are made for you rather than you making, and or it feels like that anyway. But at the end of the day, you create your whole reality. So if there are places and things that you've wanted to go to but haven't been there yet, and I mean that figuratively, but I guess also literally. What was the point of this? There's a reason, basically, why you haven't gone there yet. But you will be going there now, because you are ready to face the demons, basically. If that isn't a more clear sign, I don't know what is, to be honest. But I'm gonna leave you with that. I hope that made sense. Maybe return to it, I don't know, later, because... bit of a weird reading, to be honest, not gonna lie, but that was the choice for today's reading. And also facing your shadow is important, personally, so I hope that was clear anyway. But see you in the next one, or the previous one. Cute. Pile 2, you've chosen the Child, number 13. So 13 is actually a lucky number, not an unlucky number. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but I did. So yeah, okay. For some of you, boundaries may be incredibly important here. So your shadow, the what you need to integrate is boundaries, because you may have had a lack of boundaries, and this lack of boundaries should not be confused with empathy. So if you feel like you've been overgiving to other people and feeling headless, like your head is in the clouds, it's an actual balloon, it's not even attached to your body any longer, but you're just barely holding on by a string, that's because you've been giving too much of your power away to other people. You've been overgiving, potentially, kind of similar to the previous power, but in a different way. And yeah, you need to be able to appreciate the flowers around you, but if your head is in the clouds and your body's on the ground, where the fuck is the connection, the middle, you know? So for some of you, integrating your shadow is incredibly important to be able to feel, you know, sated, happy, but like also present, because you can't be in two different places at once. You can't constantly look at other people and worry about them, because you're gonna have to worry about your headless self at some point. I mean this, you know, because of the imagery. But let's see what the card actually has to say. But yeah, also look at this cute art. It's just amazing. 13. Child. A young child holds a string connected to her head like a balloon. Keywords: esteem, valued, precious, innocence, imagination, shadow, immature, inexperienced, unrealistic, naive, feeling inept. Why did I look at the camera like that when I said that? Jesus, that was creepy. Personally anyway. Message: cherished for their innocence and honesty. Children are also respected for their ability to surpass any adult's imagination. Because of their playful attitude and unique perspective, they can find creative and beautiful solutions beyond the usual adult mind limitations. Perhaps looking at things from a child's point of view is suggested. That may be very important for some of you. Especially those who have children and who have to deal with said children, because, you know, you bore children, so you gotta deal with it. Not that children are something to be dealt with. Ideally, you know, you have children because you want children, but you can also look after them. Okay. Perhaps looking at things from a child's point of view suggested. Some may describe your behavior as childish, meaning immature, but it's important to remember to hold on to the wonder and innocence of childhood. The modifier small is often used when this card appears next to other cards. For example, next to the ship, it may mean a small or short trip or small business opportunity. This card may also indicate pregnancy or an actual child, depending on the question and context. I was wondering, to be fair, if some of you are currently pregnant, or if you have children to well, again, to deal with, because you know, the child. But at the same time, this could also signify childhood wounds that you need to look at. So for some of you, facing your shadow will unlock certain childish what certain memories you had since childhood, basically. Or it could also be the key to your imagination, and to actually help you go forward in a sense where you feel like you're connected to your inner child, basically. For some of you, this may be a great opener if you're writing as well, because it will make you feel like you're more in touch with your inner child, your imagination, all of the good things that you did as a child, basically, or all of the bad things as well. But you know, you learn as you grow, so there's more there. But reflection questions: what do you miss most about being a child? Were you or your behavior ever called childish? What was your favorite pastime as a child? Again, feeling like you can return to being your childlike self. And honestly, I really do mean childlike rather than childish, as this book keeps calling it, because childish, yes, it is immature, but like childlike, there is nothing immature about being childlike, basically. That's more the positive attributes of looking through a more childlike perspective, basically. So that's the imagination, the happiness, the innocence. But again, to be fair, with innocence comes naivety. But I feel like some people confuse naivety as something that people, well, not always, I guess. Some people really are naive, but the thing is, there is also this thing called purposeful naivety, which is you giving, not the, oh god, what is it called? whatever. Anyway, it's more about doing it purposefully, looking through a lens of a child's perspective, through purpose, trying to understand basically other people, trying to have more fun in your own life, to actually be in touch with your child self, with your inner child, to be able to have garner, I guess, the power that you already have. Because some of you, your power is in how you treat other people through a more innocent, loving curiosity, basically. Being open to individuals, to people, to whatever, really. That doesn't come to everyone, but I think it does come to you. Being open and just heartfelt, basically, and heartful. But yeah. Dun 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 dun. Child. Yeah, again, for some, being naive means inexperience, unrealistic, not really having your shit together. But at the same time, the more purposeful version of being naive, it's choosing to be kind to people, to give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what I meant earlier. But yeah, it's precious. You are precious. You gotta remember that. Anyways, first cards we have are from the Thoth Tarot, and we have the Knight of Cups. And then domination with the Two of Wands. That's what they have it as here anyway. Okay, Two of Wands. A lot of happy... I was gonna say memories, or the creation of happy memories anyway. So there's a lot here to do with you remembering things, but also making light of situations. For some of you, your shadow wants to say that you don't need to make too light of a situation, but at the same time, you can let your shadow come out because it's not as bad as you think it is, basically, for some of you. Interesting. Domination is Aries energy, and it's Mars in Aries, supposedly anyway. So Two of Wands, Mars in Aries, or that's what they have it here as. Some of you may have your Mars in Aries. Some of you feel like you're too brash, too it could be too domineering, but honestly I don't think so. Although again, self-limits, self-imposed limitations, those are, you know, not for a tarot reader to tell a listener that this is what you have, I guess. But you know, how you feel about yourself could be completely different to how other people perceive you. So even if you seem like the most confident person on earth, how you feel may not be that way, basically. And that's how I do feel sometimes in readings. But anyways, Knight of Cups. What am I getting here? Being in touch with your imagination. He has a crab coming out of that cup at the very top there. So yeah, again, being in touch with your imagination to the point where you're really good at creating. So some of you are really good at creating beauty in life, whether through art or other ways you express yourself, basically. So including dance, crafting things, what else is there? Speaking to people as well. So you make magic, basically, with your language, with the words you use, or the actual images you present to people from your own mind onto paper. You're really good at creating beauty, is all I'm gonna say. So for some of you, that also means makeup or anything to do with beauty as prescribed by how it's seen by other people, basically outward beauty, I guess. And again, for some of you, this is partly due to your childlike nature, or at the very least, how you are still in touch with your inner child. That's actually very much revered or revered instead of deplorable behavior, kind of thing. Next cards we have are from the Divine Moon Tarot, and we have the Chariot and the Queen of Wands. Okay, again, back to that confidence thing. They go hand in hand, basically. The speed, whoa, actually, no. What am I saying? Okay, when you are confident, you are probably actually more slow than you realize because you have all of the time in the world. Where you lack confidence, sometimes you tend to do things really fast so as to get them done over and done with much faster, so that you don't get other people's attention on you too fast. So that you don't have to keep others' attention on you for too long, basically. Yeah, this could also mean being afraid of your power, the Queen of Wands with the Chariot. That's what I'm getting anyway, because this is a shadow reading anyway. So if you're shadow side, for some of you, your confidence is in your shadow side. So you expressing yourself fully, that's exactly when you get to shine. But you may do it, you may not allow yourself enough time to shine. But oh my god, that sounds so strange. That kind of resonates personally though. You may not allow yourself enough time to shine in, basically. So I feel like you need to put yourself out there some more, or at least make yourself feel confident enough to be able to actually enjoy the spotlight as you should, because you have a lot to give to the world basically. And you should feel like the Queen of Wands here, who is incredibly confident, seductive, feels gorgeous, and therefore is gorgeous, but is also showcasing that to the world because she wants to. And being able to shine doesn't mean that you need to be seen by other people as well. You still need to be able to shine for yourself, you know, because that's where the shine comes. If it's only for other people, then what's the point really? But I think you've been coming to that realization yourself, and quite fast as well with the Chariot here, that your art matters, what you create really matters, and it actually affects people. Some people may find you slightly domineering as well with the Two of Wands here, because it says dominion on it. But I don't know, the way you go about things personally, I feel like it's actually great. You have enough power, you have vigor and rigor, I guess, as well, but you have life on your side basically, and by that I mean like life force. Some of you may be young, age isn't really related to this though, but I feel like your inner child is very much at the forefront of your being basically. And again, with that, some people may call you childish or things like that, but I feel like with comments like that, they honestly really do need to be disregarded. Well, unless they're being for real, and it's a real conversation, and you do have like childish attributes and things like that, where in terms of immaturity and naivety and stuff, but it's not the healthy attributes. But if for the most part they're coming from individuals who know absolutely nothing about you in the first place, then they genuinely do need to be disregarded, because your confidence is a matter of like how you feel about yourself, not how other people perceive you basically. And if it's random people who are just friends of friends, who are just opening their mouths and giving you their 2 cents, it's absolutely not fucking worth it to what's the word, to let their energy basically penetrate you, is how I was gonna word it in the first place. But interesting words anyways. Yeah, also the Queen of Wands here, she has worked through all of her shadows in general, so I feel like you're definitely on your way to creating a space for yourself where you feel safe enough to express yourself wholly without actually giving a fuck about other people's opinions. And again, opinions are not facts, they're just opinions, and where people the more negative people are more likely to actually voice their opinions, because they've been given the platform. And it's funny, because the more confident you become, the less you talk sometimes, because you know what you're worth, and you don't need to go and scream it to the world. So people who are constantly giving their opinions and screaming at you, or you know, anyone around them, to be like, you need to do this, you need to do that, all of that jazz, blah 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 blah, unless they're like actual life coaches who know what the fuck they're doing, half the time what people say comes from their own perspective, obviously, so it comes from their own pain too. Well, I mean, me telling you all of this tarot reading, I can only speak from how far I've met myself anyway, so it can be, you know, redirected back to me as well. So what the fuck am I having to say on your shadow? But although me saying that, some of you may be too hard on yourself, and this is a call for you to get in touch with your inner child and actually be so much kinder to yourself, and imagine that you are conversing with your younger self and hug them. I don't know, for some of you that may be important. The next cards we have here are from the normal playing cards Alice in Wonderland, and we have the Jack of Cups. So that is the what's it called, clubs, not cups. I was wondering why that's interesting, because the cups are hearts anyway, so, and this is a black suit. But anyways, the Jack of Clubs is the Knight of Wands, so interesting. And also the Six of Hearts, so Six of Cups basically. Six of Cups came up in the previous reading, I swear. The fuck? Oh no, that was the Six of Diamonds. Okay. Wild. But Knight of Wands. Some of you need to feel more proud of yourself, basically. If your pride is in your shadow, if your power is in your shadow, for some of you that means having 7th house placements, because often enough you don't get to shine as much unless you're in a... Actually, okay, if you have 7th house placements, like if your sun is in your 7th house, and also other planets like Mercury, for example, because Mercury kind of follows the sun quite fast, obviously, in terms of astrology. But if you have 7th house placements or 8th house placements, you often tend to hide behind other people. And for some of you, you really discover who you are when you are in relationships with other people. I don't know why this is giving me that vibe, but the Knight of Clubs, so the Knight of Wands, is someone who is incredibly confident in themselves. Like, look at that freaking image. He's fucking smug as hell. So some of you really need to enjoy your own energy some more and actually, like, go to the places you want to go. Wherever it is you want to go, whether that's actual travel or how you want to, what role you want to play out into the world, basically. And for whatever reason you're not, some of you may actually have troubles with feeling confident enough. You need to start trusting and believing in yourself, because your shadow is there to catch you. If you think of your shadow as a little cushion that's always going to protect you, it's always going to be there. It's never going to run away, basically. Even when there is no sun, your shadow is still going to be there, basically. Because, well, it's always a part of you anyway. So when there is no sun, it's it's inside your body, I guess. But at the same time, with all light, there is a fucking shadow right there. Ta-da! Amazing. But, the idea is that your shadow will catch you, because some of you have put all of your powerful traits in your shadow. You've dimmed yourself down to the point where, your shadow comes to roar when you really need to be protected, basically. So maybe you haven't had the chance, maybe you haven't been given the opportunity, the protection you deserved when you were younger as a child, so you had to protect yourself. And then when such was no longer necessary, the protection that you expressed, which was probably overkill or way too much, because if you're not looked after properly, you tend to become seriously overly independent to the point where it's actually detrimental. And then once you start settling in to your body in a more comfortable way, you start to discover that you have been far too independent, to be honest, far too alone. But then your shadow starts to, like, go back in to hide, basically. And then that sometimes takes, this is being worded really strangely, but, like, sometimes your power goes into your shadow, basically. So again, you tend to hide more of who you are, so that you can fit in better with other people who have had it better than you, potentially, so that you can see more, you know, similar. But that's not necessary. I feel like the need here for you is to actually shine, to see yourself clearly, to respect yourself and your inner child far more, and to put yourself at the forefront where you deserve to be, basically. For some of you, you've been taking a back row seat, what do you call it, a second character, not a main character role, basically, a second person role. And this is to say that you need to take a center stage, basically. Like, you deserve to take center stage, and you will be more appreciated for it than you actually think you will be. You have a lot of supporters here with the 6 of Cups, because this is soulmate energy, and people feeling like they can connect with you, depend on you, but also you can depend on yourself, because you can. If you're overly independent, if you're in this kind of energy, you can. And also with the King of Wands here, you can always depend on yourself. Sorry, Knight of Wands, but the King of Wands may be important as well here. Next cards we have, this reading is getting hella long, holy shit. Oh my god, yeah, fuck. Okay, next cards we have are from, wow, Knight of Wands, but these are from the Weird Cat Tarot, and the 4 of Cups. Okay, some of you have been taking a break, going backwards, not really seeing the positive in situations, not really seeing how powerful you actually are in your imagination, in real life itself. So the beauty that you create needs to be expressed, but you may have been blind to your own beauty, basically. That's also physically for some of you. So you may not be seeing yourself clearly, or you have forgotten how absolutely fucking beautiful you are from the inside out. Like, that beauty you radiate, it starts from the inside. You have to accept it. So your beauty may be in your shadow, and so is your power for some of you. Well, I mean, power is always in the shadow. It's not just the negative stuff that gets dumbed down. It's not just anger. And anger itself it's better than depression, that's for sure, in terms of, like, how high it is in where frequency gets involved, basically. But anger is healthy. Anger, to a certain degree, or in this society, is actually healthy, but the way people perceive anger is not healthy. It's negative, it's all of that jazz, because we haven't been taught how to express it clearly, properly, and we let it stew so much that when it comes out, it explodes. If such were not the case, if anger was released immediately from when it was forced, from when it was, you know, if you felt hurt and you naturally had the response of anger, if you were able to actually anchor that in and express it wholly right then and there in a healthy way, if you were taught better in terms of how to release those boundaries and communicate with people from a young age too, then anger would never be a problem, because it would be released immediately and it wouldn't be let to stew. But again, some of you have forgotten how beautiful you are, and your power lies in your beauty. And I don't mean that physically only, because beauty stays. Like, quite frankly, as you age, you don't become ugly. Your beauty just changes. That's it. I feel like people forget that beauty doesn't, you know, it doesn't end just because you've aged. It doesn't work like that. Although this society is hell-bent on, what's it called, on telling people that they're ugly if they've aged. And that's just like, why? For what? So you can sell some products? Seriously? It doesn't work like that. You need to remember that your beauty is here to stay. It doesn't matter if you age. It's just gonna change. That's all. It's still gonna be there though. It's still gonna be there, and you're still gonna be that bad bitch. And I don't care if you're a man or a woman. The saying still stands. You just have to embody more confidence in yourself, basically. Both with the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands as well. And I feel like most of you have been, to be fair. The Two of Wands here is relatively positive. The Thoth Tarot has it as Dominion, which is not necessarily the most positive meaning you can have for the Two of Wands. But again, that's the Thoth Tarot for you. Next cards you have are from the last cards from the Moon Power Tarot, and we have the Five of Pentacles. Again, not seeing your beauty, feeling like you'll be left out if you communicate clearly about your needs, your wants. If you express your inner child, basically. Some people may have called you childish or made you feel small. That's a them problem, not being in touch with their inner child and then expressing that anger towards you, but like in a way where they belittle you instead. That's a them problem. Please don't take that to heart. Don't take it seriously. I know that one is hard, but the more you get to know yourself, the more you get in touch with your own shadow, the more you get in touch with like all of these little things that you hate about yourself, which are actually not even wrong, the more you realize that external validation, not even validation, external hatred and things like that, it's just, it belongs to other people. It's not for you to take in and to work out and dismantle for them. Knight of Cups and the Tower. Okay, well, the realizations you've been coming to are coming in full swing. The change you're expecting is also coming. You can trust that there will be change in your perception of yourself, of your beauty. I feel like you will be in the spotlight, you will be seen, but that's inevitable. So the faster you actually accept yourself wholly, the faster your blessings are going to start literally showering you with the Knight of Cups here. And also with the Tower, to be honest, because the fire goes all the way to the bottom of the what's it called, to the foundation. So again, the faster you accept yourself, the more power you will feel like you have, because then you can make decisions from deep down. Basically, you don't need to let other people make decisions for you. Wild. I'm gonna leave you with that and do with it as you wish. Thank you for being here, for watching and all of that jazz, basically. So yeah, if it resonated, feel free to stick around and watch more videos. Maybe come back to this reading later in life, I guess, to see how much of it has come true and whatnot. But yeah, thank you for being here and see you in the next one. Pile 3, you have chosen book, and okay, what I'm getting from this is that you may have been studying your shadow already. I mean, fair play, most of us already are, to be fair. If you're like doing healing, anything like that, working on yourself, yeah, you are gonna read books. You are gonna read books on your shadow, on how to help yourself, self-help, things like that. Basically, he's reading The Little Child. He is reading Bleak House by Charles Dickens, so that may be important for some of you. 26 may be an important number for some of you. Maybe 26 is when you had a massive awakening. If you're not 26 yet, you may have a massive awakening around 26. Or just the number itself may be important. 2 and 6 break down to 8. So, but 2 itself is about connections, trusting yourself implicitly, but also trusting other people. 6 is about unconditional love and reflection as well. So again, both of them together may be important for you, or 26 in general, which is also 8. And 8 is blessings, death and rebirth, in terms of astrology, finances and dealing with things like that. But why am I telling you this? Anyways. Okay. Okie dokie. Book 26. A person sits in a study, reading a book, seeking relaxation and answers. Seeking relaxations and answers. That's key right there, because when you're doing all of that self-work, what you're ultimately looking for is peace. The only reason you read self-help books is because you feel uncomfortable in yourself, because your surroundings, you may have outgrown them, but your mind is still catching up, so you feel like you need peace. And that's how you find it, to be honest. The more answers you find, the more peace you give yourself. Sometimes, because sometimes more knowledge, ignorance is bliss in other cases, you know. But anyways, keywords: knowledge, information, secret, studying, education, inquiry, wisdom. Shadow: ignorance, gossip, misinformation, rumors, being dogmatic or rigid. Message: this card speaks about information you are seeking or that may be shared with you. It can also indicate writing, research, academic papers, and studying for tests or exams. This may also be the time to write a book, short story, or journal your thoughts. You may need to review instructions or manuals. Perhaps it's time to quit work altogether and read books by your favorite author to unwind. Ah, amazing. Bliss. Where possible anyway. Reflection questions. So for those of you journaling, this may be important. How willing are you to spend time reflecting and finding the answers you seek? When does studying seem intimidating to you? What type of knowledge provides you with self-confidence and security? Oh, that one's important. How do you feel self-confidence and security, basically? So when do you feel secure and self-confident in yourself? Is it when you're reading specific types of books? Like, what is your preferred type of hobby kind of thing to do to actually unwind and relax and feel safe? Important questions to answer, basically. But what I'm getting from this is that a lot of you are doing the self-work already. So this is just confirmation, another reading, I guess, on your shadow self, to tell you that you're on the right track, quite frankly. Or that's how you can use it anyway. Well, where it relates and stuff. But anyways, first cards are from the Thoth Tarot, and we have pleasure with the Six of Cups. Lovely. And then the Tower. Nice. Okay, but this Tower, look at it. It's just fucking gorgeous. It's one of the best cards in this deck, because it's, well, you know, in terms of drawings. Oh, one of my favorites anyway, because it's just beautiful. Okay, if you've been seeking change, if you've been seeking your own personal pleasure, oh, it's coming. There may be some kind of turnover though, some kind of overhauling of old emotions, outdated states of thinking, things like that. Whatever you're reading, whatever you're paying attention to help yourself, whatever you are paying attention to help yourself, sorry, my language skills and pronunciating is weird, is working in your favor. But there will be some kind of change. So if for those of you that really freaking want change, it's here for you, it's coming, it's enveloping you, and it will actually be a pleasurable experience with the Six of Cups here, because Six of Cups is about I feel like every card, every reading has had it, every pile has had the Six of Cups, and I'm just here repeating myself like a broken record. But the Six of Cups is about soulmates, feeling like the connections you have in your life are actually beneficial to your body, to your soul, really. So yeah, it's also about being seen and heard and valued, to be honest. So yeah, that you'll be taking pleasure in being valued. You'll be valuing yourself. You'll be finding the love you deserve, basically, in activities that benefit you, in your own personal time. You'll be relaxing, basically, making space for yourself. Next cards we have are from the Defiant Moon Tarot, and we have the Six of Wands. 7 of Wands, sorry. Anyways, and then also the Eight of Wands too. I did shuffle the cards really freaking well, so that I am proud of myself for. But I guess these two wanted to come after the other, one after the other. So again, Eight of Wands is that is Wands, right? Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, go. There we go. Why am I like this today? Oh my god. Eight of Wands. Communication. Okay. Whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been standing your ground against, or you having to just work everything out for yourself, feeling tired, but you're just like, ugh, I gotta do this because I gotta do this, basically. It's working in your favor. There will be movement. Again, there will be so much more movement here than expected. So all of that work you're doing, it's actually paying off. If you feel like you've reached dead ends by reading, by, you know, constantly seeking for information and then not knowing where to go from there, It'll sink in. The information is ready to sink into your brain, and there will be movement forward, basically. All of that standing up for yourself that you've been doing, looking at your boundaries, all of the work basically that you've put into actually working out what your shadow means. And by that I really do mean the power you have within yourself that you've been stuffing down or trying to run away from, basically. All of that stuff, you're facing yourself clearly, and you're seeing and you're reaping the benefits of what you're doing, basically, especially with the Six of Cups, which fell on the floor. There we go. You'll be reaping the rewards, basically. Again, she's literally ready to reap those ones. You're ready. You're exactly at the end. Well, you know, for this cycle, because there's always more lessons and more demons to go through and all of that jazz, but it's getting better. Anyways, next cards we have are from the Alice in Wonderland. Anyways, Alice in Wonderland normal playing cards. We have the Seven of Diamonds. Oh. And then also the Jack of Diamonds. Interesting. So the Jack of Diamonds is the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Pentacles here. Looking after yourself, not seeing results clearly or immediately, sowing more seeds to be sowed. Again, okay, end of a chapter has come, and then we have the new demons that you're already working on. New beliefs, integrating new systems in your nervous system. Why am I talking like this? Integrating those new self-beliefs is taking time, but they will be integrated. It's taken you a long time to feel secure in yourself, but you're finding the guts to put yourself out there, to trust yourself. And by putting yourself out there, I just mean, you know, actually liking what you see from whatever you're putting out into the world. Basically, the way you express yourself is actually wonderful. Quite frankly, this is relatively positive. All of that, well, okay, I feel like some of you feel stuck and you don't see why, because you're doing all of this work and you want it to pay off. You know, it will, and it will be rapid with the with both the Eight of Wands and also the what's it called, the Tower. But the thing with that one is, whilst this is working in your favor and it's becoming a rapid, closer and closer kind of experience, and it's going in your favor and all of that jazz, like it's happening fast. You've already sowed seeds for a new experience, and that's happening slowly. So whatever you want, you will get, but you always want more, and that's part of the human experience. That's necessary, basically. So now you're on to the next, and you'll always be on to the next. So you may feel like you're fulfilled 1 minute, and then you want something else the next, and you're like, just like, ugh, like now I gotta want this, and now I have to work for that. Yeah, basically. So feeling stuck in the cycle of humanity, or being human rather, where you constantly have desires and then you have to fulfill them. That's just, it's a part of life, basically, that needs to be accepted, for all humans, really, because that's how we are, that's how we operate. We want one thing, we're gonna get it. We really will. We're gonna get it, whatever you're wanting. Even if you run away from it, you're gonna run in a circle and you're gonna get it. But it's just timing, really. That's really it. So if you run far and wide enough, you're still gonna get what you need, even if you're running away from it. It's just, it might come later rather than sooner. But I feel like for you, you've done enough to receive the benefits, to reap the you know, the seeds that you've finally sowed and all of that jazz, and they've grown, and it's time to bloom, basically, for you, is what I'm trying to say. All that work you've put into whatever project, into yourself, into your work, into relationships, it's going to be paid back to you in full, and you're going to be able to please yourself. Not in a section, whatever. Anyways, you're gonna please yourself with the results of what you see coming. Okay, next cards we have are from the Weird Cat Tarot, and we have the Two of Wands and also Death. Whoa, that's a lot of transformation in here. We have the Tower and the Death card. Whatever you're going through, it's big, it's tough as well, but like, you've asked for this. The change that you've wanted, it's here, and it's leading in a very positive direction. Now you have to choose where you want to go. The choices you're making, for some of you, they may be about leaving something behind, and also traveling, so maybe moving to a different country, things like that. Whatever it is, it's a big choice you're making, and you're looking forward with love, with adoration, like you actually want to go, basically. If it's not to a different place, whatever it is, the new mentality, then I don't know, the new car, oh my god, if it's a thing, basically, you can't wait to have it. And if it's a mentality, you're already there. You're already getting it, basically. You've started a new chapter, and now you have to enjoy it. And that's one of your lessons as well. Actually, like, allowing yourself to enjoy. Yeah, ow! That's weird. Okay, for some of you, you have all of the things in your toolbox to be able to manifest everything that you want in your life. You may have been given time off or time to just relax, and you may not have been able to do that because you didn't know how to spend your time wisely, in the sense that you actually looked after yourself, cared for yourself, because you were left to your own devices and you didn't know what to do, basically. So for some of you, you gained peace, but you didn't know what to do in that peace because you were used to chaos. So now that you have all of this peace and you're making peace with yourself, the new life you're expecting is coming to you, basically. The new life you've been creating, you've been like sowing the seeds, all of that jazz. It's all coming up dandy with roses and petals and all of these kinds of beautiful things, basically. So all of that growth you've done in your free time, or not in your free time, you made time to do this growth, but all of the work that you've put in, it's about to start paying off, basically. And you will have to learn how to relax. For some of you have been learning how to relax. It's taken its toll. It's taken a lot of time with the Knight of Pentacles here, and also the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Wands too, I guess. But yeah, you're learning how to relax now. And that's part of, again, sometimes in your shadow, you put the good things instead of the bad things. So you here, if you've been someone who's incredibly vigilant because you had to be vigilant in your life, because, I don't know, your parents maybe were neglecting you, or, oh my god, I'm not going to start making up stories and guessing things. But for whatever happened in the past, basically, now you have the opportunity to rest. So some of you are taking that opportunity and you're flying with it. You're going forth and you're just like, yep, I'm a rest. I'm gonna do the things I want to do. You have the opportunity, basically, to be happy. You gotta take it. You gotta find ways to be happy. Next cards we have are from the Moon Power Tarot, and we have the Ten of Swords. There we go. You have to find the opportunity to be happy. You have to make the opportunity to be happy. The Emperor. And then the Four of Cups. Yeah, some of you have more time on your hands now and you don't know exactly what to do with it because you are secure. But like, what do you do with your time when you're secure? What do you do with yourself when you reach the top, basically? And if you feel like you're not at the top, you probably are. Where you are currently, the top is that is the top. Like, it does get better, but the thing is, you have to see it as it getting better. Like, the perception needs to change as well. Because if you've been suffering, if you've been stuck in a mentality where you've constantly been suffering, when you do have the chance to prosper and things like that, it takes time to realize that you're already there. You're already at the top, basically. But I feel like this is what your shadow is trying to tell you, that you can rest, you can do that safely, and that nothing will be taken away from you. If anything, you're creating a reality for yourself in this period of rest that you've wanted to see for a long time. You're now experiencing the bliss, the joy, or you're creating it. And it's coming as a shock. For some of you, what is it? You're shocked, but you're not surprised that your manifestations are coming towards you. All of those things you've been journaling, if you have been journaling, that you've been scripting, manifesting, creating, speaking to yourself in the mirror, all of that jazz, it's working. And it's coming in as a shock for some of you, but I don't understand why you're shocked. Like, you shouldn't even be shocked at that, you know. But to be fair, most people that say, oh my god, I'm shocked, not surprised, is in the manifestation community or in the subliminal community. It's just funny, to be fair, because you expect your blessings to come to you, but when they do come to you, you're just like, wait, what? Why did that come? Like, what did I do to deserve this? You did a lot. You did all the work. You did all the work, so you deserve to be able to actually experience the bliss you're creating for yourself. For some of you, if this is like study related in terms of uni or school or things like that, like doing all of that classwork, the reading, blah 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 blah, and then having exams and stuff, yeah, you're gonna get the grade that you want. Whatever it is, apply it to your reality, but like, the fruits of your labor are going to be paid off, basically. And then you're going to enter a new cycle with new desires. You already have entered a new cycle with new desires, and you're creating them too. They're manifesting easier. But again, for some of you, you don't know how to rest in your security, and you're learning that now. Like, that's what your shadow has to say to you. That's how you integrate your shadow. You actually learn how to communicate clearly with yourself and sit in the silence. Or it doesn't have to be, well, for some of you it is silence, because to read you do need, you know, a semblance of silence at the very least. You can't have some music in the background and stuff, but you know, you need to pay attention to what you're learning, to what you're doing with your life, basically. And you are, or you will be. But yeah, some of you haven't discovered how to spend time with yourself in the best way yet, and that's what you're currently doing. Basically, you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, but you're also enjoying spending time with yourself, or learning how to spend time with yourself. And that's what I have for you. And again, thank you for being here. So if this resonated, feel free to stick around, all of that jazz. You know the drill, basically. But see you in the next one.